How did we get here?
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
What's wrong with you? So before we get into it, let me make some things clear. I'm not on Savannah's side. I'm not on Briana's side. I'm here to tell this story fairly, present both perspectives, and hopefully create a space for dialogue. Hey everybody, my name is Naja. I want to have a real conversation about this incident that's been everywhere online. I thought it died down before, but it seems to be picking back up in the media stream. Healthy dialogue only. Racist or dehumanizing comments will be blocked immediately. If you can't debate ideas without slurs, this isn't your space. And unfortunately, this particular case has brought up a lot of ugly language. Before we get into how Savannah and Briana are doing right now, I want to talk about something personal. About 15 years ago, Peter tried to throw paint on my mink coat. Now, this was not just any coat. This was my grandmother's coat. Grandma was born in Mississippi in 1931. She worked for 4 years straight to save up for that beautiful coat. And when she finally bought it, a white woman saw her wearing it, claimed that my grandmother had stolen it from her. Grandma went to jail and they confiscated her coat. She had to spend money back in that day to hire an attorney to prove that it belonged to her. And when she finally got it back, it was damaged and she paid to have it repaired. So when paint was hurled at this coat, with me knowing its history decades later, I instantly thought about her. It represents my grandmother's legacy in a country that told her that she wasn't worthy. In my opinion, when somebody destroys your property, it's not just stuff, it's violence. And that's what we're here to discuss today. It's bigger than one punch in Harlem. It's about legacy, provocation, consequences, and how unchecked actions, whether physical or digital, leave lasting scars. Savannah is a conservative, Christian, right-leaning journalist. She has almost 1 million followers across all of her platforms. She's married to a dark-skinned South Asian man, and her audience primarily consists of white conservative Christians who are Republicans. And based on the comments, some are even white nationalists. She classifies herself as aligned with Charlie Kirk, and she often frames herself as an oppressed conservative.
I am Charlie Kirk. Charlie was a conservative icon, a civil rights leader, and an inspiration to me.
A role that deeply resonates with her fan base. On the other side, we have Briana Rivers, an Afro-Latina woman from the Bronx of Puerto Rican descent. From her social media, she seems like a young woman who likes to travel and spend time with friends and family and enjoy life. Her social media doesn't lend much to her career or how she spends her time outside of travel. So let's get into it. In Harlem, Savannah approached Briana for one of her street interviews. At first, they were friendly. They were giving each other compliments. There was a vibe and some synergy going on.
You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you. Such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today on Planned Parenthood.
But as the full 21-minute interview shows, Savannah used a tactic. She listened, she latched on to a piece of Briana's words, and then pivoted the conversation in a new direction.
He looks bad?
Yeah, so my dad didn't want me, but my mom didn't kill me just because my dad didn't want me.
But that's her choice.
No, it wasn't her choice.
That is
because
her
it's
choice.
that was my body inside of her body.
Abortion.
It wouldn't have been unsafe because I would have died. How is an abortion safe if a baby dies?
You're an embryo.
Yeah, an embryo of what?
I'm not disagreeing with you either. I understand.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want them.
You can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care?
Why not? Why not? If that's the case.
We should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted. We should kill the victims of molestation.
I think, what does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people molesting children. We should kill the kids in foster care is what you said.
What I'm saying is in general, overall. If I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to.
Just don't have sex then. Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical.
It is. It is.
Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb.
You do.
Okay.
It does.
The full interview is linked below if you want to see the context for yourself. This is a common tactic in journalism when you want to create viral moments and get that one clip that could change your life. What started off friendly shifted quickly. Savannah counters frustrated Briana, and instead of Briana walking away, Briana threw a punch.
I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Then she boom-cacked her again. And this was the image spread everywhere. Savannah had a bruised and swollen eye. And seeing this makes you feel really bad for this girl, right? As a journalist myself, I know this dynamic. It's called rage baiting. You provoke, you twist, and you bait. And it's not always done with malice. But as I mentioned earlier, it's done with the intent to get yourself that viral moment, something that will draw an audience in and make them watch your entire piece of content. Listen, we're all one straw away from breaking that camel's back.
Somebody, and they're like, I'm a 16-year-old and I can't have this baby. Think you should keep it?
It's a baby. Yeah. If someone was raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
Everybody is holding on to something, and you don't want to be that person's breaking point. Did Savannah's words deserve fists? Absolutely not. However, Savannah was gaslighting and antagonizing that woman. Should Briana have walked away? Absolutely. But instead, her frustration boiled over, and now we're here. This isn't the first or the last time that an interview has gone left. Look at Mike Tyson shutting down this reporter.
And then, with no warning, all the emotion he hides on stage came gushing out as he told me about the death of his 4-year-old daughter.
This is my best thinking at the time. Get my gun, automatic, just like this, and just go crazy.
Who are you gonna hurt?
Regardless, that's just my first thought. I couldn't handle it at all. You have to go. Now, you understand, right? Thank you. Thank you, man. You want to take this stuff off?
Now, if the Mike Tyson looked at me like that, I would not only leave the room, I would leave the state. Abortion seems to be a hot topic. Street interviews are volatile because emotions and ideology and pride collide in public in real time where you can reach out and touch someone. That's why I, as journalists, will avoid it when the block gets too hot. I'm too old and too fragile to be getting skiddabariki-dinky-dinked in the face. But Savannah, she's a smart one. She knows how the content economy works. One clip can change a career. She's leaned into positioning herself as the next Candace Owen, appealing to a conservative base that rewards confrontation. And this punch was a jackpot. She's gotten national coverage, millions of impressions, and brand new legitimacy with her conservative audience. By my own count, I saw that she's already topped 10 million, but that I just stopped counting. Savannah's Google AdSense account should be booming right now. I know that girl is probably swimming in coin. This was a moment for her. Talk about turning lemons into a lemonade stand. And to be fair, Savannah's platform drowns out Briana's, which is why her narrative spread much faster. Look at these comments and screenshots. Fat shaming, racist slurs. Briana's getting called a ghetto thug, a monkey, and an ape. All these stereotypes and Bible-thumping morality. Savannah's followers have swarmed Briana's page, calling her phone and even doxing her family. Savannah herself has tagged Briana multiple times, almost like a silent battle cry to her followers. That's how I found Briana's page, actually. And she hasn't explicitly told them to troll her, but she's not told them to stop either. Meanwhile, I was able to find a handful of supportive comments that were drowned in the noise. Here's a thread right here. Briana claims that she's apologized, turned herself in, and already faced consequences. But Savannah's platform is continuing to incite harassment. This incident happened months ago, and the negative comments are still not dying down. Briana says she went to jail, she lost her job, and she's apologized to Savannah. And she's even tried to fundraise for her legal defense. But Savannah's supporters mass report every time Briana does a fundraiser, so it gets shut down. Here's one of her accounts, which raised only a small fraction of its $25,000 goal. Here's a clip where Briana says herself that she's lost her job, gotten arrested, and apologized.
Savannah has controlled this narrative definitely for too long. People are calling me a leftist and a delusional Democrat. I am being cyberbullied and body shamed by not only Savannah, but her thousands of supporters. These people have shared my personal information, also my family's information. I've had strangers go to my previous residence in regard to this incident. At this point, I'm fearful for my life. I'm fearful for my well-being and the well-being of my family. Savannah has used this clip as an opportunity to finally have her social platforms go viral and monetize off of my back, basically. She currently has several GoFundMe accounts. She has gained a large audience, and this is all over a provoked attack. I hope the people who can see through her malicious ways stand with me in solidarity as I try to clear my reputation.
But her page is still open, and you can scroll through the comments yourself. While it's not necessarily Savannah's responsibility or obligation to tell her followers to stop, morally and ethically, she could. She told them to stand by, but now she can tell them to stand down. Savannah released this Instagram video. Basically, she's saying that Briana has faced no charges, and she's calling it a slap on the wrist, and she's calling out the city officials who seem to have botched her case.
On April 3rd, 2025, I, Savannah Craven and Tao, was brutally assaulted in the streets of Harlem while conducting interviews on Planned Parenthood. Rivers was arrested and reportedly charged with felony assault. But after an interview with 2 prosecutors, I was informed that the felony had been downgraded to a misdemeanor, despite indisputable video evidence of brutal assault and battery.
And recently, Savannah's legal team has announced that they're filing a civil suit. They've blasted Alvin Bragg's office for botching the prosecution and missing a court deadline.
I was never advised by the prosecution that my case had essentially been abandoned. The prosecutor assigned to handle my case isn't even admitted to the New York bar, just an inexperienced law school graduate. Yet he was able to handle my case under a student practice rule, which is supposed to apply to only very minor offenses.
According to her senior counsel, if you viciously assault somebody because you don't like what she says, you'll suffer the consequences. If not criminally, then civilly. So no criminal charges, but the civil fight is underway. And here's the truth. If Savannah wins, Briana could face wage garnishment for years. Even if she can't pay right now, she'll always be on the hook financially. Things like this aren't necessarily new. I once interviewed a guy that calls himself the first Black gay conservative.
Charlie Kirk picked me. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens discovered me on the internet. I owe my career to those 2 people.
Because they shared your content?
Because they shared my content and also brought me into the fold.
Okay.
Like Charlie and Candace, who else? I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for them.
And he blew up in the media because he attended a Turning Point event thinking that he was amongst friends and peers. But when he got there, they hurled the N word and the F word on him, and they literally ran him up out of there. He was basically physically accosted, and he recorded the entire thing. Can we talk about that day? The event, because I tried to, I couldn't find the video today, but I read about it happening. So you went back, you were at the car, you're getting ready to go. Hey, I'm out of here. You're like, you know what? F that. Y'all got me effed up. I'm going back. So you take the camera and then you put the camera on them. Did you expose them?
I turned it on myself. Okay. So I got everything that was going on. They swore at me. They screamed, the F-bomb, the N-bomb a couple times. It was this whole thing.
And you were by yourself. Solo.
And I was
backup.
I was completely by myself. And then what I did, I know Final, I edit. I know all this stuff. I found all of their little videos, and I also made it a whole thing. So I knew that it was going to be a moment.
So
right?
You're like, but did you consider, I am going back. These people are angry and filled with hate and visceral right now. I could get physically harmed.
They're literally chanting, marching the American flag, chanting America first and all that other stuff. That was
as you're being marched out.
As I'm being let out, that was the moment. And I'm sitting there waiting for my car. I'm like, that was the moment that I was something physically could happen to me, right? And then literally after that, I started taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I never wanted to be in the situation again where I didn't feel like I could physically defend myself.
You could be outnumbered. So I have a question. So on the CNN interview, you did say you chose to de-escalate the situation with humor.
Through humor,
And I think for a lot of Black guys that might be accosted, or not. In that situation, you were solo. You were by yourself. What is de-escalation? Because when you said that, I was like, did he tap dance? Did he shuck and jive? What?
No.
How do you get 25
wasn't nobody tap
hateful
dancing
people?
and shucking and jiving?
How do you get 25 hateful people off of you? Do you are you Bill Cosby mode?
Well,
right
here's
now?
the thing.
Happened?
I wasn't doing certainly not grifting because, like I said before, if I was a lib, I would make 10 times what I make right now.
No, you wouldn't.
And so that's. Are you kidding me?
I don't think you would because, like you said, you are the gay, Black conservative.
And let me tell you why. No, when you are a Black Republican, you're not getting the cable news contributorships. I had to learn the business of digital media because it's dollars and cents, baby.
So going into hostile territory is one thing. Going into a space where you don't belong and then yourself being hostile is another. Savannah came to Harlem with a clear agenda, and Briana reacted with her hands. And both of them paid consequences, though very different ones. What's interesting is that the comments under the full interview, under the YouTube link that's shared in the description, are really different from the viral clip. Those that watched the whole 21 minutes saw the compliments that the girls gave each other, the laughter, and then that pivot. People started saying they understood Brianna's frustration. They did not excuse the punch, but they recognized Savannah's gaslighting. Several said that she should have walked away when her words started being twisted. And that's the danger of clips. They hide the full human story. This story has blown Savannah's life up. It's even been picked up on a bunch of conservative platforms.
A pro-life activist getting sucker punched in April. But due to an error by DA Alvin Bragg's office, that attacker is now off the hook.
Wow. Chanley Painter is here with all of those details. Chanley, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So the Manhattan
So here's a wild thought. What if instead of suing her, Savannah could contract Briana to go on a debate tour with her? Savannah would agree to play the angry big black woman. Ugh, that was cringy. And Savannah could play the fair lady victim. Together they can hold symposiums, town halls, and flip the narrative. And they could even teach debate and conflict resolution. They could cash in on this together instead of one of them destroying the other. I occasionally work as a mediator, so I'm gonna put my mediator hat on here for a second. When I'm with clients or in a session, I set expectations first by saying, listen, if everybody in here leaves 100% satisfied, that means somebody got the very short end of the stick. Mediation is about compromise, not domination. One of my main jobs in conflict mediation and resolution is to help people move forward with durable solutions, not just wins. And this story shows what happened when conflict isn't managed. Perhaps both of them want domination and maybe it's too late for dialogue. If I were Briana, knowing that a civil suit could haunt me for years, then I would be scared. And if I were Savannah, I would realize that I've already won, got exposure, got clout, a boost with your conservative audience. But here's the problem. Savannah is continuously demanding repentance from Briana without giving her clear steps on what she needs to do. Does she want Briana to publicly apologize, grovel? Does Savannah want to get her lick back and punch her back? So, Savannah, what does I'm sorry look like? In conflict, if we don't set some clear, definitive boundaries on what repentance looks like, then we can always move the goalposts. And that's when it gets really harmful and dangerous for everybody. Because at a certain point, the media is going to find a new story to pick up on, and it'll start to appear like clout chasing. So a pivot is necessary, real fast. Briana says that she's lost her job, and we can see that she's suffering from racist abuse every day online. And this has to be crushing for her. So until Savannah actually calls the dogs off, I think it's going to be pretty tough for Briana to show a lot of humility or be sorry if she's always on the defense. Because she is in the comments trying to defend herself sometimes. But when somebody has over 500,000 Instagram followers, it's tough. As a collective, I watch people every day fail to think before they speak. When we offer a rebuttal, we're not doing that from a place of solution. We're doing it because we've been hurt, and we want to let you know exactly how much hurt you've caused us. There were so many other ways Briana could have responded here. And while this lesson has come at her expense, largely, what exactly have you learned from both of these women? You know I always got to know the takeaway, guys. There's a lesson in everything. Now, I know Savannah has launched a civil suit against Briana, so they probably can't talk about this case right now. But I would love to invite both of them for a sit down, probably not at the same time, to see exactly what they've learned and what the next steps look like for them. Two truths can stand. Briana was wrong to sock it to her. Savannah was wrong to bait. Savannah gained clout. Briana lost stability. Social media created a viral moment, but everything is a hot mess. Whose side are you on here? And you've seen the viral clip here. You can go and watch the long form video. Does that change your opinion any? Please smash the notification button so that you can get alerts every time I post a video. I typically do so once a week. And after every upload, I'm in the comments for about an hour or an hour and a half, just dialoguing and seeing your thoughts. I'm really curious to see what your perspective is on all of this. I know that we all shape our opinions and perspectives based on our own lived experience. What I've come to find is that very few people can actually give an unbiased opinion, free from outside noise or their own internal dialogue or conflict. It's tough to just listen to the facts because as human beings, we're so swayed either way. We have our own prejudices and biases and perspectives that can absolutely skew or prevent us from seeing another person's point of view. And with that being said, I am really interested to see what your point of view is down in the comments below. And if you know Savannah or you know Briana and they'd like to talk about this, I am actually in New York City. And Savannah or Briana, if you do want to sit down and talk about this, talk about that moment, the moment that changed your life drastically, then I'd love to have a sit down. I promise no rage baiting and no punching. Y'all, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Thank you for watching Naja News.